Here we have an image from our first Sunday of streaming masses. And I have several things that I used that, again, most of them I already had on hand. Actually, I had to have everything on hand because by that Saturday morning, March 21st, it was the first I knew that we would be streaming our masses. And this is from March 22nd. This was at either the 9 a.m. or the 11 a.m. Mass that we streamed. So because I had such short notice, I just needed to set up a piano and mic and all this right in front of the altar. We obviously didn't have anyone else except for the three priests and myself because of the social distancing measures required. So I used just a regular iPhone. I have an iPhone 8, so it's not a new iPhone or anything. I think that the 10s have been out for a while, so this is just a standard old iPhone 8 that I used as a camera, and I have it connected. You can see the cable right here. I have it connected directly via a lightning cable, and the reason I wanted to do that is because I wanted to reduce any latency, any delay that happens between when the camera is taking the video and it actually showing up on the screen here. So that was reduced. It was not really noticeable. There was no latency because I had it connected directly via cable. Later on, we'll be trying to do that with Wi-Fi, and I'll be able to explain to you the challenges we had there. Also, I have a MacBook Pro. Now, this is a late 2017 MacBook Pro. This is not a state-of-the-art MacBook. It's a decent, like, kind of middle of the line MacBook Pro. It wasn't like souped up with a bunch of RAM or any upgraded processors or anything like that. It does have a solid state drive, so an SSD drive of only 500 gigs. So it's pretty standard there. A USB audio interface. Now, this is something that's really important because you need a way to get a good quality audio into your laptop. I just had this thing is old. I had one laying around. It's called an Apogee 1. It doesn't even have a good mic preamp, but it's a decent interface to take a line out of an audio mixer, which we had right here. Just a standard audio mixer with multiple channels. This one in particular is headless. It's the X18 by Behringer. And that's why you see the little iPad over here with the mixer. Headless, meaning that it doesn't have all the controls on the mixer itself, but that's not necessary. Any analog mixer did not need to be digital. Any mixer with a good XLR out would work, or even a 1/4 inch out would work to go into your audio face and be able to record the audio directly. In this particular setup, I did want to be able to have two main screens. One would be the camera that shows the altar, and the other I wanted to have the song lyrics. Not only do I think it's really not necessary to show the musicians because they really need to hear you more than see you, but also this is a particularly distracting setup, and I didn't want to distract from people's prayer at home. It's bad enough that they have to be watching this and can't participate in person, but the less distractions the better. So I did create an external monitor where I could display on a PowerPoint the lyrics, and I'll explain that in another video. Another tool that I had here was a Stream Deck. So I used this just so that I could program. There's 6 buttons. This is the Stream Deck Mini. There are 6 different little buttons that just allow the software on the MacBook, OBS, Open Broadcaster software. I wanted to allow myself while I'm, working here to not have to click around on the laptop in the middle of streaming and running slides, but just to be able to press a button and go back and forth between the slides that might have an image that represents the gospel or the lyrics for the song or any responses like the creed, anything that we usually provide on our regular Sunday masses. So this is a really simple setup. Most churches already have a lot of these things. Most people already have a decent laptop. I'm using an iPhone. You don't have to have an iPhone. It could be an Android phone as well. Any decent phone. Again, mine is 8. It's an 8, so it's a few years old. This MacBook is 2.5 years old. Nothing state of the art here. This mixer I've had for a long time. Any analog mixer would do. These are the main things that you need. Obviously, an audio interface. If you don't have one, you can get one online for about $100 or even potentially even less. And I'll have several options in the main blog page to accompany this video. Be sure to click subscribe and hit that notification bell so you'll get the latest technology tutorials from The Modern Psalmist. Visit us online at themodernpsalmist.com.